Hi, my name's Marina Spiteri and I'm here to apply for the Performing Arts position here at St Anne's, Sunbury. I'd like to begin with cognitive development in young children. Jean Piaget was a Swiss psychologist and philosopher known for his cognitive development studies of children. Jean Piaget developed the 4 stages of cognitive development. The theory shows that children develop with age. The theory shows that they move through the stages in a sequential order. A child cannot jump from stage 2 to stage 4. They must move through the stages in order from 1 to 4. Piaget's theory shows that children develop through these stages by using the process of schema. The schema process shows that we begin with schemata, then adapt the already existing schema to accommodate for new schemata or knowledge. The adaptation process involves assimilation, where a child uses existing schemata to understand new objects, and accommodation, where existing knowledge, schemata, isn't working and needs to be changed to understand a new object. We now move on to Lev Vygotsky. Lev Vygotsky was a psychologist from the Soviet Union. As opposed to Jean Piaget saying that thinking happens from the inside out, Vygotsky believed that learning happened from the outside in. Vygotsky's theory sees the use of a more knowledgeable person, an MKO. He found that in order for anyone, in particular children, to learn, an MKO was required. Vygotsky developed the zone of proximal development, the ZPD. The ZPD is made up of 2 levels. Vygotsky saw that through the help and guidance of MKOs, the child student can learn. A way for an MKO to help a student reach their ZPD is to use scaffolding. We now move to moral development theorists. Lawrence Kohlberg was an American psychologist best known for his theory of stages of moral development. Kohlberg's theory is made up of 3 levels, each made up of 2 stages. As the child student moves through the stages or levels, this usually develops with age. They will gain the abilities to understand and be competent in addressing moral issues, such as problem solving and decision making. Elliot Turiel. Turiel is an American psychologist who developed the moral domain theory. He based his theory on developing the moral reasoning of children so that they can better understand authority, rules, culture, and society. Turiel's theory does not work sequentially. Turiel's theory works in a parallel way. He believed that more often than not, the moral, social, and psychologically developmental areas are connected, so they should be occurring all at once. I feel it's important to have an understanding of cognitive development because knowing how we use our minds helps us to learn. If we can somewhat understand our students' minds, we can help them to learn. As a teacher, I believe we are moral agents. We spend many hours with the students, and not only do we have an academic responsibility to teach our students, but we also have a moral responsibility as role models and leaders to our students. Through our teachings in the classroom and creating an inviting and warm classroom morale, we should be helping to guide our students into understanding right from wrong, compassion, fairness, empathy, and consideration for others. Whether we refer to Piaget or Vygotsky, both theories are based on stages of sequential learning. As teachers, I feel it's important to understand and identify with the different levels or stages so that I, as an educator, can identify which levels my students are currently learning at, and I can then give the appropriate lessons and activities appropriate for that learning level to help them to graduate to the next level stage of their thinking and or learning. Moral development theories can also develop in stages. I believe that knowing and understanding each stage and the age group to which it refers to will help me understand how and why my students behave as they do at their certain ages. An example of cognitive development in the classroom is a maths lesson, learning fractions using concrete materials. Students at this age are at the concrete operational level. Their thought process can only apply to the things that can be physically seen. In this instance, flour, dirt, or liquid. Students will be asked to measure out half a cup of flour, then measure out another half a cup of flour. They will then be asked to combine the 2 halves together and see how much flour there is altogether, eventually working out that half a cup of flour and half a cup of flour equals 1 cup or a whole. They can then go into measuring quarter cups and 3/4 cups, learning how to add and subtract fractions. This is aimed at students between 6 and 8. An example of moral development is to develop the class rules in your classroom for the school year. This activity is based on Kohlberg's pre-conventional level, where students can understand fear and punishment and do things for rewards. Yes, classroom rules are important, however we need to make sure the students know the reasons behind why each rule is important. The students may think of a don't call out rule. The teacher will then ask, why should don't call out be a rule? Then with the help of the teacher they will understand that putting their hand up and waiting their turn to answer promotes fairness and helps develop consideration for others.